Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Eva Dwight, Positive Discipline Trainer. And today I'm going to have a conversation with my friend Maricela Campa, who I have known for several years now because she was a participant in an in-person training I facilitated back in 2019, teaching parenting the positive discipline way. And so Maricela and I are going to talk about the impact of that training on her parenting and also her work as a community advocate over the last several years. And we're also going to invite you to another in-person training that's coming up this February 1st and 2nd in Mesa, Arizona, in person, not online. We're going to be in a real room with real people, which I always appreciate because we experience so much greater connection when we get to do in-person training. So we're going to tell you more about that. But first, Maricela, can you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about you?
Yes, Ava, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm excited to be here with you to talk about, this have this important conversation. So I'm Maricela Campa. First and foremost, I'm a mother. Yes, I've done work, advocating for families, working for a few social service agencies throughout, the years, and also most recently, my role as a mental health awareness program manager and education manager for the Diocese of Phoenix.
Mm.
But it's really been a lot of advocacy work around parenting, mental health and wellness, and promoting health and wellness, and also always talking about hope. So it's important to have these conversations. Thank you for having me.
I always enjoy my time with you. You have such a wealth of experience and such a great perspective from the work that you do and from a parenting perspective as well. I wonder what caused you to sign up for that training several years ago? What brought you to positive discipline?
So at that time, I was working for a social service agency, Jewish Family and Children Services, as a family consultant, all about parenting, education, connection to resources, and really, we focused on strengthening families. So it was a great opportunity. I learned about positive discipline. It was a great opportunity, but I went there as a parent because as a parent myself, I wanted to invest in having the tools, because I mean, you and I even know that nobody gives us a manual to be a parent. So it was really an investment on me as a parent, and I knew it was going to benefit me in the work that I was doing and working closely with families, and then sharing with them these tools that are available to all of us, really.
Yeah. And so your daughter now is 11, so she was probably maybe 5 or 6 back when you took
Yes.
the training. And so I'm curious about what impact that training had on your parenting.
It certainly had a positive impact, and it helped me grow in self-awareness. I think oftentimes, I've heard the phrase where we say we parent from the inside out,
Mm.
and without knowing it. And what that meant for me was that, who were my first teachers? It was my parents. My parents were my first teachers, and my upbringing, that was what influenced me in the parenting model that I had. It wasn't terrible. I'm not saying that, but it impacted me positively because it made me stop, take a look at what is happening in front of me, and become self-aware of, how is this behavior impacting me? What is coming up for me as a
Mm.
parent? And that's important, to grow in self-awareness, because we, as the children's first teachers, it's not about controlling. It's about, how do I support this little kiddo who's learning and growing, manage better manage themselves. So it taught me to look at, okay, it's not about controlling the situation. It's about helping one another, each other. They help me, I help them, because it helped me just stop and again grow in self awareness. That's what.
And so when you say things like that, it makes me, recognize because I'm a parent too. My kids are older. My kids are the older one is turning 30 this coming year in just a few weeks, and the younger one is 27. But I have a 15-month-old granddaughter,
Oh, yay.
and when we spend time and they're in Denver, so they're not as close as we would like. But when we do get to spend time with them, It just brings it all back for me, those early behaviors that children exhibit that sometimes they're really endearing and sometimes it's like, I don't know what to do with this. I appreciate that you said, really noticing the impact that the child's behavior is having on you. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What decisions are you making in the moment? And how are your thoughts, feelings, and decisions impacting how you respond to, in your case, your daughter's behavior, in
Yeah.
my case, my son's at the time, or now my granddaughter's behavior. So it really, I agree that it helps us take a moment and just look inside ourselves and say, what impact is this having on me? And if it's not such a positive answer, because sometimes it's not, we're like frustrated, we're like, yeah, I'm up to here, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I'm everything else. But if we can recognize that in ourselves and notice, oh, I'm here to teach my child how to be in the world. Who do I want to be
Exactly.
right now in order to be my child's best teacher? And for
Yeah,
me,
and
it just kind of brings me back down and it takes some of that emotion out of it and gets me back into a thinking place so that I can respond to my child rather than react to her behavior. Does that
yeah.
sound like what you're experiencing too?
Yeah, and I was nodding my head because I wanted to make sure that we share that it's, I'm not a perfect parent, right? And it
Me
comes with
neither.
learning, right? And
Mhm.
and and that's not the goal to be that perfect or to strive. It's tools, and it's having tools, being better equipped at this big task and responsibility that is
Yeah.
parenting, to be a parent, a caregiver for that, for because a lot of us, maybe several of us, may not be the parent, but we are the primary caregiver of someone, of a child,
Mhm.
or an educator. So again, I came to positive discipline twofold, right? It was a personal development and also for professional development.
Mhm.
So it served me in both capacities, and it continues to serve me now. Like you mentioned, Sophia, my daughter, she's now 11, and I know that I'm transitioning into another and a new phase in her age. So while I took it back when she was 5 years old, I need to realize and recognize that she's growing and
Right.
things are changing.
Yeah,
And
because she's in adolescence now. She's getting really close to becoming a teenager. So
yes.
this is a new phase of development, and darned if every time we get good at what we're doing at one phase of our kids' development, man, they move into a new phase. And I have found that parenting my adult children is just another phase of parenting. And when I'm using my skills and tools from positive discipline, I get really great results and responses within my family, and not just with my kids, but with my husband, with my own parents, within myself. Like you said, there's internal work there. When I'm not using my skills, I know pretty quickly because of the reaction I'm getting. I think both of us, it sounds like, have experienced that positive discipline has helped us learn and grow through different parenting stages. And so, when we talk about this training that's coming up in February, I really want to emphasize that this training is for parents of any age child, whether you have a little child, one like your daughter who's approaching adolescence or in adolescence, or even adult children. And you don't have to be in conflict with your family. If things are going well and you'd like to learn some skills for making things even better, or if you are struggling with some things, because what family doesn't? I mean, I've struggled as a parent. I have not been a perfect parent. There's no way to be perfect, and our kids aren't going to be perfect. So, positive discipline is about helping us all learn and grow together with our children and to be really transparent with our kids and say, I don't think I handled that situation very well. Can I have a do over? Here's what I wish I had said. Here's what I wish I had done. Or
Yeah.
what do you need from me that would help us work together better so that we can learn to have those important conversations along the way with our kids. So this training is for any parent of any age child. And it's also for people who work with parents and
Right.
families. So social workers, agency professionals, counselors, therapists, whatever your role in working with the parenting and family community, this training can stand alone as its own program, and it can also supplement any programming that you already have in place.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just give a quick um, piece of information. What you get for this training is a manual that's full of activities that you can do with parents. And they are very useful to be done one-on-one. Like if you're a counselor or a therapist or social worker working one-on-one with parents, these activities can be done one-on-one, or they can be done in small or large groups, depending on who you work with.